Yo, what up, and welcome to a new speed drawing. Yo, what up, and welcome to a new speed drawing. Now, I know, it has been a minute. The last time I think I posted a speed drawing was on November 15th, I think, 2019. Obviously, I'll show the picture right now. I think I drew a Mega Evolution form for Dragonite. And fun fact, I was just, at that point, like 2 years ago, was just almost literally 2 years ago. I was just doing it for fun, and now I've literally already created a series name. Well, I haven't created the entire series. I'm currently writing the series, but I got my own personal Qniverse Pokemon world and story called Pokemon The Mythical Journey. So yeah, crazy, 2 years later, and I'm already, what just started as a fun speed drawing turned into an entire series. So yeah, pretty epic in my opinion. So yeah, apart from that, just want to give a quick shout out to Pancho from Punch Easy Games. I'll link his YouTube channel down in the description below, because I had a 1 in a million error occurring on my camera, and it's error 70. I don't wish that error upon anyone apart from my biggest enemies in life. Not that I have a lot, but you know what I mean. So yeah, a big shout out to you, Pancho. Thank you so much for helping me keeping this camera alive, because otherwise it would be a minute until you saw my face again, because cameras aren't cheap. So yeah, so again, thank you so much. But I just really wanted to make a new speed drawing because, with all the new Pokemon stuff happening right now, and no, I'm not making this because of all the hype surrounding Pokemon. I've always been a Pokemon fan, like, I'm literally talking always, like, just to show it. This is my childhood Charizard figure that I had as a kid, and as you can see, this Charizard has seen better days. But yeah, even as a little toddler, I was always a Pokemon fan. I have Pokemon cards and a couple Pokemon figures. Definitely gonna make figure reviews for them, and if you like Pokemon figure reviews, go down and hit that subscribe button. And if you are a Pokemon fan, you're gonna love what I'll be posting next year. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I've always been a massive Pokemon fan, but not just in regards to the cards, in regards to the figures or the show or the games, of course the games, but also in regards to drawing them. I loved drawing the characters, the little images that you saw on the Pokemon cards. And even in elementary school and a little in high school, people would literally walk up to me and be like, Q, could you please draw this Charizard for my Pokemon card for me, please? I would really love it. I'm not saying I was amazing, I wasn't, but I just love drawing Pokemon, and people recognize that. So people would literally come up to me and be like, yo, can you draw this Mewtwo? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. So for the next 10 minutes, I'll be drawing that Mewtwo, and then gave it to them. So yeah, I've always had this huge love to draw Pokemon characters, and why not bring that back in a fun way? Why? Because like I said, I'm an OG Pokemon fan, so I grew up with the first generation of Pokemon cards, and some of the art is like awesome, and some of the art is kind of like, what the fuck? Okay, it's a bit weird, For instance, I grew up with the purple chubby Pikachu that you can see right here, and like that's one of the first images that comes to my mind whenever I think of like Pikachu. What's the first image that comes up? And that's always the purple Pikachu. So when I saw the anime, I was just kind of like, what the f***? Why is Pikachu not purple? Why doesn't he have the purple ears and the purple lines on his back? So, I was a kid. I didn't understand the whole marketing thing and, multiple design teams working on them. I don't know what the f*** that was supposed to represent, but you know what I mean. So, but I thought, why not try to redraw some of the OG, as you can see, the OG purple Pikachu, but in a modern style, in my own style of course, but kind of showing respect to the new modern Pokemon art style while drawing it in the colors of the OG. So I thought, why not? let's give this a shot. So what you're about to see is the first speed drawing in 2 years, and hopefully you can see that I've progressed a lot and grown a lot as an artist. And yeah, without further ado, let's go and draw the purple chubby Pikachu right now.
chubby Pikachu?